the Stashius Tutorials, back again with another tutorial. Let's get into this. Leave a like and comment if you enjoyed the video, or leave a dislike if you didn't. Comment down below what you want to watch next. Comment down below if you have a better way to do this. This is just my way, and I'll make an update video. Other things to note: you need Sapphire to do this effect, and I didn't really distort him that much because I forgot how it looked like, but if you want it to look exactly like him, you might want to distort him a little bit more. Mine just looks like a little bit distorted. Keep that in mind. Shameless plug, check out my Selfie, where you can find all your editing needs, all my presets, all my transitions, and just pretty much everything I collected. And you can even buy a video from me if you don't want to edit your videos. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, let's get into it. So I have my clip right here, right? It'll look like this. Blah blah blah. I stole it. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so don't worry about this. It's just my clip. And what you're gonna want to do first is you're gonna want to mask him out. Just like all my tutorials, I say mask him out. So mask him out. If you want to know how to mask him out, just click on this little pan and crop button here. Click that. Click mask. Check that. And then you're gonna want to grab this tool, and then you're gonna want to go through the timeline and then mask him out. I already did that, so we can save time in this tutorial, so it could be real quick. It's just a really bad mask, but it doesn't matter because it'll work anyway. So once you mask him, I have my settings on out, feather type out, and 2, and I want it to be positive. So now that I've masked him, we need to do the effect. So to make the background come up again, we're gonna want to go to the track right here, right click, duplicate the track. Now you want to go on the bottom track and then click the pan and crop button. Then uncheck the mask, and then now it'll be normal. Alright, so now to do the effect, we're going to do it about 2 times. You can do it about 3 or 4 times, but it'll work the same. But I'm just going to do it for 2 times to save time. So right click again on the top layer, make sure it's the top layer, duplicate the track again. Alright, so now we don't want to mess with the top layer just yet, or at all, but yeah, we're going to be mainly focusing on these 2 layers. So I'm just going to, mute these bottom 2, and then we'll check later. Alright, so the effect you want to do is you want to have Sapphire plugins. How to get Sapphire plugins, it's up to you, however you get it. Just make sure you have Sapphire plugins. And yeah, so the effect would be Sapphire Distort. And you're going to have to use 2 effects for this effect. 2 effects for this effect. You're gonna have to use 2 video effects for whatever. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Alright, so S Distort and S Distort Blur. I believe I used S Distort Blur, and then we're gonna just click that, drag that onto the second clip, not the first clip. Alright. Alright, so now we have him warped. Alright. You're gonna wanna I'm gonna unmute the top track, and then I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna go to the bottom track. Actually here. I'm gonna mute the top track again. Go to the bottom track. And I'm gonna keyframe. Here, let's make it look like this. Okay, so I'm gonna have my cursor at the beginning, and I'm gonna keyframe all these settings, but I mainly will only use about 2 of them. So keyframe all the settings, and then now I want to change the settings and mess with it to whatever I want. You kind of don't want to go past 300 right here on this warp amount, because then it gets all funky, unless you want to do that. I just don't think it looks good. And if you do, you can have to mess with this blur lens. Just make it, it's just kind of difficult. Okay, that'd be good. But if I make it about minus, since I want a small one first. Okay, then warp lens. Yeah, like that. Okay. Rotate. Nope, I'm not going to rotate any. I might a little bit, but we'll just keep that 0 right now. Alright, so these are the effects I'm going to start off with. And then I want to go to the end of the timeline. And you can see this cursor jumped over here. And then I just want to change this back to 0. Change the warp lens. Here, let me go this way. change the blur lens back to 0, and then I'm going to change the rotate blur to about 0.50. 0.50. Okay, maybe 1. Okay, and then now we have this effect. Whoa, that looked kind of gross. Okay, so good thing I watched it first. Yeah, I'm gonna mute this one so I know what it looks like. Alright, go back to your video effects and then we're gonna fix this real quick. Why did it do that? Wait, oh, it's because of the blur lens. Alright, so we're gonna want to go back, and I'm just gonna change the blur lens all the way up again. Actually, I'm just gonna uncheck the blur lens and keep it all the way up, so don't mess with the blur lens unless you want it to look a certain way. Alright, so we have this right here. Blur lens, make this about like that, and then I'm gonna want it to go over here back to normal, but then at the end I'm gonna want it to rotate about a little bit, and then I guess I could just play with this x-axis right here. So let's see what that looks like. And then it looks like more of an effect we're looking for, but not quite there yet. So I'm gonna change this a little bit in the beginning. Hold on, I'm gonna change this to like that and like that. Okay, I'm gonna change this to no. And I'm gonna change this blur amount to about. Okay, so now we have this effect, and that looks kind of like the effect I'm looking for. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to mute that one, and I want to do the same thing but kind of opposite. So since this one is kind of skinny, and I'm gonna make this guy go to the left, I'm gonna do a fat one, and then make him go to the right. So it's kind of opposite. We want to have your effects balanced out. I'm gonna mute this one and then mute the one right underneath it, unmute it, and this is the effect we're gonna be working on. So like I said, you're gonna want to do, I'm gonna do S distort for this one just to show you the different ones you can use, but S distort blur would be more timid, but this one, if you're going for a crazy one, then I'm gonna use this one. Alright, so like I said again, you're gonna want to go to the beginning of the track, which my cursor is on right there. Sorry if I'm talking fast, but leave a comment. I want to click all these keyframes here to make keyframes, and then I want to mess with the settings till I get my best looking one. So I'm going to change this to about 50. That's how I want it to look. Right? I want it to look like that. Do I? Or I can even get them to look like that. Or I can even get them to look like this. And then that's like they actually had a double effect in there. I don't know if you guys want to do that, but for me, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to do this a little bit. Make him a little bit fatter. And then I'm going to change this Y all the way down and change this X to a little bit fatter. Distort. Oh, I'd make the X go back a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to want to rotate it about like that. Okay, and then now I'm going to go to the end of the clip, click that, one keyframe so I can see him, and then I want to change this back to 0, change this back to 0, and we should be good right there. And then rotate it, I'm just going to rotate it a tiny bit, about like that. So if you look at the effect, we'll see what it looks like. He's all fat and weird. And then he goes in. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to unmute this. and unmute the top layer. So what we have now is this, and so what we have now is this, but they're behind him. So what we're going to do is, like I said, I'm going to make the skinny guy on the left and then the fat guy on the right. So the skinny guy is the one right underneath him, if I remember. Click the pan crop. Click position. You're going to want to make it in the beginning. You see my cursor here? And then I'm going to make this go to the left. A little bit. I'm just using my arrow keys to make him go to the left. Okay, if we can hurry up. Okay, this is taking forever. Okay, and then I'm gonna even rotate it a little bit like this, just so it gives it more of an effect. Alright, and so now if you look at that, oh wait, first of all I forgot something. Let's go back to the pan and crop, default, and then I want to go to the end of this clip right here. Make sure you have your sync cursor on so it moves to the end of the clip, and then I'm going to want to change this back to default again. So if you look at this, it'll look something like this. Okay, and trust me, it kind of looks weird, right? It kind of looks goofy right now, but it'll look decent at the end of this. So do the same thing for the bottom one. Go to bottom clip, position. I want him to be on the right now. And they're not really that distorted, so I'm just gonna go back and mess with the settings and distort them a little bit after this. But that's basically the whole effect. So there he is on the right, and then I'm gonna rotate this about like that, and then I can even move this a little bit upward. But make sure you see where you cropped him, where I masked him down here. Make sure that you don't want to see any hard lines. So if you do move him up a little bit, then you're just going to rotate him like that. Alright, so we forgot to do the same thing again. So go to the end of the clip and then make this default. Make this default. Alright, so now we have this, and they all can join at the end. And I have this up here, but that kind of gives more effect. Alright, so now what we gotta do to make it not look gross, we're going to go to the bottom clip and then unmute that. So now we have, okay, what still looks kind of weird. And that's kind of good effect. Alright, so what I did in my effect, I actually added another effect. So we want to go to distort RGB, and then you want to put the default on your two effects, and then they'll look like that. But I made mine about like 0.40, and I may do the same thing to the second one and make it about, oh wait, that's the same one. You kind of get confused. Second one, make it about 0.40. Oh, wait, it would be 0.040, right? 0.04. Okay, and then you have this little RGB effect with them. And then so I don't like this guy right here, so I'm just gonna mess with the settings real quick. Was it? I forgot which one's which. Okay, so I'm gonna mess with the settings real quick. Distort blur. I'm gonna warp him. Hardcore. There we go. Wait. Alright, blur lens. Move that right there. Alright, so now when you look at it, what the heck? Hold on. Change. Nope. Delete that. Look, and that looks better. So yeah, right, so let's look at it. It could be a little bit more distorted. Hold on one second. Yeah, and that's, well, I'm just gonna mess with the settings a little bit. If you guys want to stick around and just copy my settings, you can. But that's basically it for this tutorial. But I'll keep this in the video just to keep it in. But that's basically the same effect. This is the best I could replicate it in Sony Vegas. And yeah, so like I said, leave a like. Wait, here, let me fix this real quick. Okay. If I do that. Yeah, I mean, that looks kind of better. So let's make it opacity a little bit down. And then, wait, that one's too light. And now they look like ghosts. Even cooler. Alright guys, yeah, but that's like I said, if you want it to look anything different, just play with the effects. Like always, leave a like and comment if you liked it. Comment what you want next. Comment if you need help. Comment if you have a suggestion I could do it better or a closer version of it. This is just my version of it in Sony Vegas. Check out my Sellfy, it really helps me out. A lot of you have been checking it out, and a lot of you have been getting some cool stuff. So check it out and watch my other videos. Alright, peace out later.